So for the fitness athlete, the CrossFitter, the Olympic lifter, the power lifter, performing hip hinge movements like the deadlift, the clean, the snatch, the Romanian deadlift, are hip hinge dominant movements. We need to break down that movement pattern and make sure that that movement pattern is good. So we're gonna grab a PVC pipe. We're gonna hold that PVC pipe to where it's touching our butt, our upper back, and our head. So 3 points of contact. I got one hand here in my low back, one hand behind my neck. I'm gonna maintain those 3 points of contact with soft knees, about a hip width stance. So kind of your same deadlift, Romanian deadlift stance. I'm gonna maintain those 3 points of contact as I bend forward. And I'm gonna go as far down as I can while maintaining those 3 points. And then what I should ideally see is that if I didn't move my spine or torso position and drop my arm down, boom, my hands are at knee level or maybe a little bit below that. If that's the case, then I know we have enough flexibility and control of the hip hinge pattern that we could deadlift, because that's essentially a hip hinge to then bending the knees, or we can get into this position here for the clean, or we can Romanian deadlift. What we don't want to see with this test is that as somebody goes down, they lose that bottom point of contact, which would be them flexing their spine. As they go down, they lose the middle point of contact, which is them overextending their spine. Maintain those 3 points as you go down. That in general just tells us how the hip hinge movement pattern is. If you pass that test, we don't need to test anything more. If you fail that test, then we probably want to identify, do we just need to work on understanding the hip hinge movement a little bit more, how to dial in that technique, or do we need to work on hamstring flexibility? So the next test in our ultimate mobility checklist will take you through how to specifically assess hamstring flexibility if you did not pass this test. If you pass this test, you don't really need to worry about hamstring flexibility.